was quick, right? That was super quick. All right, look. So I'm so excited because I'm almost done. Tomorrow is the finale of Black is Gold. All right, for the month of February. All right. Spoiler alert: Black is Gold will become a series. Okay, but okay, it won't be every day. All right, it's not gonna be like this was. All right, it ain't gonna be like every day, every other day. This was definitely a journey for me. Okay, and I'll get into more of that tomorrow when I finally finish the one for Black History Month. All right, but with that being said, y'all, all right, let's get into Black is Gold, episode 27. All right, Louis Farrakhan. Okay, Louis Farrakhan, born Louis Eugene Walcott, May 11th, 1933. Wow, is an American religious leader, Black supremacist, anti-white and anti-Semitic conspiracy theorist, a former single who has the Nation of Islam. Prior to joining the NOI, he was Calypso single who used the stage name Calypso Gene. Early in his career, he served as a minister of a mosque in Boston and Harlem. He was appointed national representative of the Nation of Islam by then NOI leader Elijah Muhammad. He adopted the name Louis X before being named Louis Farrakhan. All right. After Warud Muhammad recognized the original NOI, an Orthodox Sunni Islam group, American Society of Muslims, Farrakhan began to rebuild the NOI as Final Call. In 1981, he officially adopted the name Nation of Islam, revising the group and established its headquarters at Mosque Miriam. The Nation of Islam is an organization which the Southern Poverty Law Center, SPLC, describes as a hate group. Farrakhan's anti-Semitic statements and views have been condemned by the SPLC, the Anti-Defamation League, which is ADL, and other monitoring organizations. According to the SPLC, the NOI promotes a fundamentally anti-white theology, accounting to innate Black superiority over whites. Farrakhan's views and remarks have also been called homophobic. Wow. He has disputed this assertion. In October 1985, he organized and led the Million Man March in Washington, D.C. Due to health issues, he reduced his responsibility with the NOI in 2007. However, Farrakhan continued to deliver sermons and speak on NOI events. In 2015, he led the 20th anniversary of the Million Man March just as Sir Else. Farrakhan was banned from Facebook in 2019, along with other public figures are considered to be extremists. Wow. My only thing is that why don't they ban rappers who use the N-word and degrade women and things of that nature? Because that's extreme too, right? That's very dangerous as well, right? That's promoting, genocide and other things, right? But that's a whole other story. Early life and education. Farrakhan was born Louis Eugene Walcott. Hold on, y'all. On May 11th of 1933 in the Bronx, New York City. The younger of two sons of Sarah Mae Manning. She lived from 1900 to 1988. Wow, she lived a long time. And Percival Clark, immigrants from the Anglo-Caribbean islands. His mother was born in St. Kitts, while his father was Jamaican. The couple separated before the second son was born, and Farrakhan says he never knew his biological father. Wow, 1996 interview with Henry Louis Gates Jr., he speculated that his biological father, a light-skinned man with straight hair from Jamaica, may have been Jewish. After his stepfather transcended in 1936, the Walcott family moved to Boston, where they settled in the largely African-American neighborhood of Roxbury. Walcott received his first violin at the age of 5. By the time he was 12 years old, he had been on tour with the Boston College Orchestra. A year later, he participated in national competitions and won them. In 1946, he was one of the first Black performers to appear on the Ted Mack Original Amateur Hour. Heard about that. Heard it was a really good show. We also won an award. Walcott and his family were active members of the Episcopal St. Cyprian's Church in Roxbury. Walcott attended the Boston Latin School, later English High School, from which he graduated. He completed 3 years at Winston-Salem Teachers College, where he had a track scholarship. In 1953, Walcott married Bessie Ross, later known as Khadija Farrakhan, while he was in college. Due to complications with new wife's first pregnancy, Walcott dropped out after completing his junior year of college to devote him to his wife and their children. Farrakhan is the father of 9 children and grandfather of basketball player Mustafa Farrakhan Jr. Wow. Never knew that. What does he look like? Okay. Oh, he's still playing. Okay. The young guy. All right. Okay. So let's continue to get into it. He does look like Louis Farrakhan too. Now, all right, let me see. Where am I at? Found it. Okay, let's get into his career and everything he's done. All right. In the 1950s, Walcott began his professional music career as a singer billed as the Charmer. At this point, earning $500 a week, which was a lot of money back then. Walcott was touring the Northeastern and Midwestern United States, sometimes also under the name Calypso Gene. 1953-54, hold on, y'all. All right, preceding Harry Belafonte's success with his album Calypso, released in 1956, he recorded and released a dozen cheeky, funny tunes as the Charmer in a mixed mento Calypso style, including Ugly Woman, Stone Cold Man, and Calypso standards like Zombie Jamboree, Hold'em Joe, Mary Ann, and Brown Skin Girl. Some reissue Don't Touch Me Nylon has mild, explicit sexual lyrics as well as the female boxes which contain some sexist overtones. And Is She or Is She AIM, inspired by Christine Jorgensen's Sex Change Operation. In February 1955, he was headlining a show in Chicago, Illinois, called Calypso Follies. There he first came in contact with the teaching of the Nation of Islam, which is known as the NOI, through Rodney Smith, a friend and saxophonist from Boston. Walcott and his wife Bessie were invited to the Nation of Islam annual Service Day addressed by Elijah Muhammad. Prior to going to Service Day, due to then Minister Malcolm X's media presence, Walcott never heard of Elijah Muhammad. And like many outside of the Nation of Islam, he knew that Malcolm X was the leader of the Nation of Islam. 1955, Walcott fulfilled the requirements to be a registered Muslim, registered believer, registered laborer. He memorized and recited verbatim the 10 questions, the answers of the NOI student enrollment. He then wrote a Savior's letter that must be sent to the NOI headquarters in Chicago. The Savior letters must be copied verbatim, have the identical writing of the Nation of Islam founder, Wallace Fard Muhammad. After having the Savior's letter reviewed and approved by the NOI headquarters in Chicago in July 1955, Walcott received a letter of approval from Nation of Islam acknowledging his official membership as a registered Muslim, registered believer, registered laborer, and NOI. As a result, he received his X. X was considered a placeholder, used to indicate the Nation of Islam members' original African family names has been lost. They acknowledged that European surnames were slave names, assigned by the slave owners in order to mark their ownership. Members of the NOI used the X while they were waiting for their Islamic names, which some NOI members received later in their conversions. Hence, Louis Walcott became Louis X. Elijah Muhammad then placed X with the holy name Farrakhan, which is a corruption of the Arabic word for Khan, which means the cretin. On a very different tone from his Calypso songs, he recorded 2 tunes as Louis X. Criticizing racism in A White Man's Heaven is a Black Man's Hell, a record album which was issued on Boston's A Muslim Sings label in 1960. The summer after Farrakhan's conversion, Elijah Muhammad stated that all musicians in NOI had to choose between music and the Nation of Islam. Wow. That's a hell of a choice. After 9 months of being a registered Muslim in Hawaii and member of Muhammad's Temple of Islam in Boston, where Malcolm X was the minister, Farrakhan became an assistant minister. Eventually, he became the official minister after Elijah Muhammad transferred Malcolm X to Muhammad's Temple of Islam, number 7 on West 116th Street, in Harlem, New York City. Louis X continued to be mentored by Malcolm X until the latter's assassination in 1965. The day that Malcolm X transcended to Harlem, Farrakhan happened to be in Newark, New Jersey, on rotation, 45 minutes away from where Malcolm X was assassinated. After Malcolm X's death, Elijah Muhammad appointed Farrakhan to the 2 prominent positions that Malcolm had been before being dismissed from the NOI. Farrakhan became the national spokesman, national representative of the NOI, and was appointed member of the influential Harlem Mosque Temple, where he served until 1975. Farrakhan made numerous incendiary statements about Malcolm X, contributing to what was called a climate of vilification. Three men from the Newark NOI Mosque, Thomas Hagen, Muhammad Abdul Aziz, also known as Norman 3X Butler, and Khalid Islam, aka Thomas 15X Johnson, were convinced of the killing and served prison sentences. Only Hagen ever admitted his role. Wow. Okay, so Warith D. Muhammad, the 7th son of Elijah and Claire Muhammad, was declared the new leader of Nation of Islam at the AIM Savior's Day Convention in February 1985, day after his father transcended. He made substantial changes in the organization in the late 70s, making most of his members to a close relationship with Orthodox Islam, and renaming the group World Community of Islam in the West, and eventually renaming it the American Society of Muslims, to indicate the apparent changes which had occurred in the group. He rejected the deification of Nation of Islam founder Wallace D. Fard as a line person, the Mahdi of the Holy Quran and the Messiah of the Bible. Welcome white worshippers who were once considered devils, enemies, and otherwise equal brothers, sisters, and friends. At the beginning of the three changes, Chief Minister Warith Deen Muhammad gave some Euro-Americans exits, and he afforded efforts at inter-religious cooperation and outreach to Christians and Jews. He changed his position and title from Chief Minister Wallace Muhammad to Imam Warith Hussein Muhammad, and finally changed them to Imam Warith al-Din Muhammad. Farrakhan joined Muhammad's movement and followed Imam Warith al-Din Muhammad, and eventually became a Sunni Imam under him for 3.5 years from 1975 to 1978. Imam Muhammad gave Imam Farrakhan the name Abdul Halim. In 1978, Imam Farrakhan distanced himself from Muhammad's movement. In 1999 interview with Emerge magazine, Farrakhan stated that he had become disillusioned with Muhammad's movement and decided to quietly walk away from it rather than cause a schism among its members. In 1978, Farrakhan and a small number of supporters decided to build what they considered the original Nation of Islam upon the foundations established by Willis Fard Muhammad and Elijah Muhammad. This decision was made without public announcement. In 1975, Farrakhan's group founded a weekly newspaper entitled The Final Call, which was intended to be similar to the original Muhammad speech. Hold on, y'all. Newspaper that Malcolm X claimed to have started. Farrakhan had a weekly column in The Final Call. In 1981, Farrakhan and his supporters held their first Savior's Day convention in Chicago, Illinois, and took back the name of the Nation of Islam. This event was similar to the early Nation celebration last held in Chicago on February 26, 1975. At the convention's keynote address, Farrakhan announced his attempt to restore the Nation of Islam under Elijah Muhammad's teaching. Salute that she stole my thunder, dan, 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 when the rain clouds transform, whatever M3 be saying. But thank you, she stole my thunder. Thank you for checking in. On October 24, 1989, at a press conference at the JW Marriott Hotel, Washington, D.C., Minister Farrakhan described a vision which he had on September 7, 1975 in Timbuktu, Mexico. In this vision-like experience, he was carried up to a wheel, or what we call unidentified flying object, as in the Bible book of Ezekiel. During this experience, he heard the voice of Elijah Muhammad, the leader of the Nation of Islam. He said in the press conference that Elijah Muhammad spoke in short, cryptic sentences, and as he spoke, a scroll full of conversive writing rolled down in front of my eyes, but it was a projection of what was being written in my mind. As I attempted to read the conversive writing, which was in English, the scroll disappeared and Honorable Elijah Muhammad began to speak to me. Elijah Muhammad said, President Reagan has met with the Joint Chiefs of Staff to plan a war. I want you to hold a press conference in Washington, D.C. and announce their plan and say to the world that you got the information from me, Elijah Muhammad, on the wheel. Wow. That's deep. During that same press conference, Farrakhan stated that he believes his experience was proven. In 1987, the New York Times Sunday magazine, on the front page of Atlanta Constitution, the truth from my vision was verified for the headlines of the Atlanta Constitution read, President Reagan planned war against Libya. Farrakhan added an article which allowed the exact words that Honorable Elijah Muhammad spoke to me on the wheel was found, that the president had met with Joint Chiefs of Staff and planned a war against Libya in the early part of September 1985. Jubila Shabazz, the daughter of Malcolm X and Betty Shabazz, was arrested on January 12, 1985, accused of conspiracy to assassinate Farrakhan and retaliation for the murder of her father, for which she believed he was responsible. Salute to this party line, what's going on? Okay, according to Stanford University historian Claiborne Carson, her family resented Farrakhan, had given reason to because he was one of those in a nation responsible for the climate of vilification that resulted in Malcolm X's assassination. Some critics later alleged that FBI used paid informant Michael Fitzpatrick to frame Shabazz, who was 4 years old when her father was killed. Nearly 4 months later, on May 1st, Shabazz accepted a plea agreement in which she maintained her innocence but accepted responsibility for her actions. Farrakhan visited Turkey at an invitation on February 8th, 1996, and met with the country's leading Islamist political figure, Necmettin Erbakan, and his welfare party's officials. He said the Turkish police must decide whether it wants to have a secular or Islamic government. All right, let's keep going, y'all. That year in October, Farrakhan, the board covered a board coalition that what he supporters claimed was 1 million men in Washington, D.C. for the Million Man March. The count, however, fell far below the hold for numbers. The National Park Service estimated that approximately 444,000, which is still a lot of people, were in attendance. Farrakhan threatened to sue the National Park Service because of the low estimate from the park police. Farrakhan and other speakers called for black men to renew their communities to their families and communities. In Farrakhan's 2.5 hours, he quoted from Scripture as well as the Old and New Testaments and teamed himself a prophet sent by God to show America is evil. The event was organized by many civil rights and religious organizations, drew men and their sons from across the United States of America. Many other distinguished African Americans addressed the throng, including Maya Angelou, Rosa Parks. Wow, that's big. I didn't know Rosa Parks was there. That's big. Martin Luther King III, Cornel West, Jesse Jackson, and Benjamin Shavers. And all five together with other prominent African Americans, such as new Black Panther Party leader Malik Zulu Shabazz, activist Al Sharpton, Adis Daniel, and others. Farrakhan marked the 10th anniversary of the Million Man March by holding a sacred gathering, the Millions More Movement, October 14th through 17 in Washington, D.C. All right? Hey, that is the life and times of Louis Farrakhan. All right? He's a very controversial figure. I do believe that he definitely wants the best for our people. Some of his methods is very radical. Some of what he says, excuse me, y'all, is very radical as well. But I believe he wants the best for our people, and sometimes, even though when I covered Malcolm X, which I remember, I covered Malcolm X early in the series, some people, they take very, very, very extreme measures to try to help our people. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't agree with all these measures. I don't support all these measures, but I understand them. You know what I mean? And definitely, to me, Louis Farrakhan embodies the symbol black as gold, because he definitely is that, especially when it comes to fighting for our people throughout times where we didn't even have any rights. Remember, he was there during the civil rights era, so he knows what was going on, and he still, did his best to try to support our people in the ways he could. Not gonna get into the whole Malcolm X thing. I don't really know kind of what happened with that situation. I don't speak on a situation I know nothing about. But I'll say this, y'all. Overall, every time I heard, Louis Farrakhan speak, he always spoke in high regards when it comes to our people and actually helping our people and helping us to grow. With that being said, family, this is Black as Gold, episode 27. Louis Farrakhan, all right? As always, y'all, Assistant Heavily Stream says, as she always says, QB says, be intentional, y'all. All right, definitely be intentional. Hopefully some of y'all are getting some rest, about to get some rest, maybe waking up from some rest, or maybe just watching some replay. Or whatever you're doing, y'all, you know what I mean? Listen, definitely be intentional in doing it. Love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow for our finale, episode 28, Michael Jackson. Let's get it, y'all. Love you guys. Peace.
The DJ.